It's like I was saying, like people in the army, they used to see me gazing. Like I gaze, I look for nature because you're only part of the nature. So you're like walking. Everything alive is doing something that you're doing, and you have to relate to it. Even if it's a leaf, it's gonna feel you. If you, that's why I said I'd rather invest in businesses that I could show people because you're like in a box. So the army dude is like, I'm like, oh yeah, you can see through my gaze, great. But he got into details. He's like, yeah, I can see that you're not just looking out at something. I can see that, with my specialities to see how, from the army, how people are and how they carry themselves in demeanor. We watch out for these things so we can see that you're outside the box. That is not just a gaze. It's not something that you're off the grid, but you're outside the box. And so what's being outside the box is that then you have society. Society is everything that is programmed for the citizens of the country or the places that you live in. So it could be anything. It could be the government. It could be the island. It could be the presidents. The way president, like what I'm trying to say is not no matter how you organize the country and whether it's an island or as a what I'm saying, like a country. Everything has its own way of programming how people have to be in that society. So what it is that then when you go to the army shows you everything in that society, but they show you things that are outside of that society. And then they specializes and they make businesses around that to protect people in the box. So the thing is with that is that they a lot of times people they what they don't say is that is you're not, the army would take you like more outside of the society, so it's thinking more broadly on what how the world is functioning, but more to function the program in the society, to make sure that the program in the society is straight and is followed however the government has it, or however the president has it, however wherever it is. So you're in the box. So to be outside the box, to think a little more out there and be more on the sophisticated side, the army has that. But then what the army doesn't have is that outside of that, because they're only a box within a box. So they're not really they rather not show you that you could be outside the box. Because the thing is, if you're outside the box, then you're out of their range, and they're supposed to be in control of what's in the box. You see what I'm saying? So to let you off on that is to manipulate it, is to try to keep you away from it, if anything. Because they're the mans for that. But they don't tell you that there's just another box within the box. And of course, I can see that. I've been seeing that, and I know how it works. So because I do know that, people have to come out of their nature. People have to feel what the world really is. You can't be feeling like you gotta wake up and then because you got a program that's shown you for years on how to live here and how to live there, that's just your plain life. It's far from that. Way far from that. That's why they have the box. And then they have the second box. And ladies and gentlemen, and I'll be the one presenting to you what's all is all. What's nature is nature. You cannot cover everything that the blessing of the Creator has onto yourself and this world. You cannot. Especially when you want to take people out of their nature to live within these boxes of programs that want to be in control. We're far more intelligent than that. We're far more blessed than that. And we could teach a lot more of it. And yes, I'm on it. I live through it. I breathe it. I touch it. Because I'm a human first before anybody could tell me how my body, how my life runs and works. I speak clearly. I speak without a doubt. I speak with all the essence and essential needs of all the earths and all the lands. For every element that move, the lands and the bodies within all living things in this world. That's it. We organisms, and that's why, ladies and gentlemen, you could have that.